All right. Okay, Kieran, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Welcome back to Missin the Homies. Finally, home. And this episode is brought to you by the color navy. As you can tell from this room, both of our plaid shirts. Kieran, I'm that was it. I've done I just realized I need to say the name of the show because whenever I ask people, I'm like, yo, do you want to do Missin the Homies? They're like, what's that? I'm like,
Excuse me? Yeah.
this is the show where I bullshit with my homies. So Kieran, how are you ready to get cracking?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Crack that water bottle.
Hmm. Heck yeah.
Bro, we just got this um like teapot that like it keeps doing it. I don't know why it keeps doing the thumbs up. Did I freeze
What
on
is
your end?
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see you. All right, you're frozen.
No, I wonder if my camera died.
Is that a Zoom thing? I've never seen that before.
The thumbs up? I saw it the other day. I think it
Yeah.
is a Zoom thing. Bro,
Huh.
I'm pissed. I literally just Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. You're good. Okay, we're over here.
All right, little side cam. Sorry, we're getting the whole view of the room now.
Okay, there we go. We're back. All right.
All
Well,
right. No sudden thumb movements on your end. Oh, all right. Oh my.
oh my god, it does. Okay. We're seeing. That's so weird. Why doesn't it do it for you? Why does it only do it for me?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not updated enough.
Does it
But
do
it
it
sounds
here?
like the update is.
It does, but it doesn't freeze it. God,
Huh.
this is so stupid. Okay, well, I'm gonna figure out how to
Has
turn that off.
technology gone too far?
I think AI has finally gone too far. Anyways, we got this.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say we got this teapot yesterday, so I've been drinking hella tea. But it's got like an infuser in the middle, and it's like a French press coffee, but it's tea, and it's so good,
Oh, interesting.
so
Nice.
good.
Nice. I have a question for you. Does Liquid Death know who you are by now? Do you think?
Bro,
You think your name's in their books?
I hope so. I sold my soul to them, so they have like at least my email, and I'm on the email
Yeah,
listserv.
Wow.
I-
Yeah, they probably have you in like HR's like on the wall as the model consumer. Like this guy.
I hope so.
He's our goal. We need to turn the country into this man.
Bro, and the worst part is that all of their merch is so cool, and I want to just get it all, but it's like it's merch, so it's like kind of expensive. It's not
Right.
cheap merch. Anyways, okay, so Kieran, we could start so many places. Did you reflect on on my question for you?
I did. To recap, the question being, well, what are you grateful for? Is that correct?
Was it grateful or thankful?
It might have been thankful.
I thought it was
It's
thankful.
it's not Greatsgiving, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
no. She's great was the only one I could think of, bro. And you
It's
killed
giving
it.
thanks.
You killed it on connections. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, for the recap connections. Four out of four on this.
4 out of 4. You killed it.
Thank you.
Anyways,
Um,
thanks.
I have reflected on what I'm thankful for, and I have a couple. First one is kind of a T-ball home run, but I'm just really thankful for my friends and my people I have in my life. I feel like I'm in a really happy spot with the people I have here. I'm in Sarah's apartment right now, and I'm close to family, which I appreciate. My brother moved back into town, and I feel like I have a lot of different places where I'm hanging out with good friends, and I'm lucky to have friends. Either I'm visiting, I went and visited you guys. Our friends from New York were just here this weekend, so I feel lucky to have people in my life that care about me. I feel like I have a lot of people that I can reach out to if I need something, which is nice. The other thing that is a little bit less of a T-ball home run is I'm feeling really thankful these last couple months. I think I mentioned in the last week I'm applying for residency stuff right now, and we don't have to get into that too deeply, but it just feels good to, I'm like in the process next couple months, I'm just like doing interviews, and it's a very fun feeling to be kind of picturing what the different options for the next few years could look like. And I'll just say I'm feeling thankful that I have options.
Yeah.
I know it's stressful to figure out future stuff, and knowing that there's a few routes that seem really viable. Whether that's I don't know. I've applied to like 12 different cities, so whether that's here, Chicago, New York, elsewhere, you never know.
Have you done any interviews yet? You've done a couple, right?
Yeah. I did two. One in Detroit, one in St. Louis. I mean, they're all virtual, but I have this week. I have a couple coming up, and then they're running through January. So I'm kind of, but right now I'm just chilling. Like I have this podcast. I'm really been grinding my X-Men stuff because all I really have to do is prep for interviews, do the interviews, like send thank you emails after the interviews, and then rinse and repeat for the next interview. Basically,
you're entirely interview focused, which is really nice. Especially,
it really is.
I feel like with how much you've been like doing your body and your schedule, like you've been run ragged. Like it's so nice to just like focus on one thing.
Yeah, it's a change of pace. I've been told that, I mean, residency is obviously a lot of work, and I've been told to everyone to take advantage as much as possible of the last like 6 months of med school, because it's supposed to be like kind of a let off before you start.
It's the calm before the storm.
But yeah, exactly.
Which is so awesome.
Thanks, man. Is this a one-way question, or is this something you're expecting to respond to? How does this process work?
So I don't know. This is new, but I realized through Renee that because Renee will ask me a lot of hypothetical questions but not have the answer, and I hate that. So I'm like, no, you have to answer the question if you're gonna ask me. So I was thinking about it because I feel like I have a lot to be grateful for right now. The biggest one is that did I tell you I was doing interviews for the job I've been temping at right now. So on Friday, they offered me the position. So I'm like,
let's go, dude. Congrats.
No thumbs up, but
I know, yeah. Good job.
Oh no. Okay, it didn't. But,
congrats, man. That's so sweet.
Thanks, dog. I'm like, it feels really good because I'm finally like gonna be able to have like a set schedule. And I who was I telling? I think I was telling my grandma, like, I have not had a set schedule ever. Like the last time I had like a regular schedule was like Vreeland, but even that was like changed week to week. But like,
and that's not 9 to 5 type work either.
Yeah, it was like
necessarily. Sometimes it is, but not necessarily.
But it was still pretty unpredictable. I mean, especially like working with my family, but like this is so, I used to be like so afraid of this like kind of stability, but it feels so nice to be like, no, I worked really hard this summer, and like now it's just like my job is kind of same as you, like maintain for a bit, and it feels nice to finally have like some peace. So I'm like I'm very like thankful for this.
For sure.
Peace right now.
Absolutely. Clearly they love you because they wanted you permanently. Like it was, they hired you on in more of like a temporary situation, but they're like, this guy's good. They wanted you forever. It's so weird because I like was telling Renee, I was like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's like, sometimes there's not any shoes. Like it's just good. And I was like, but I'm used to it be like, when's it gonna get hectic? And I'm like, it's not. Which is like it's like it was a different kind of anxiety at first because I'm like, I want there to be something more coming. And it's like, well, no, there isn't. Like this is, it can finally be chill for a minute. So I'm like very, very thankful for that. I'm also very, very thankful to be talking X-Men because I like, oh, thank you. Because I mean, I love doing this. I love doing Missin the Homies. And for me, like doing it is enough. Oh, you just saw the ghost of Renee just haunt down the hallway. Oh, there she is. I just like love doing this because, it's an excuse to just hang out. Like we're just cracking a bev, kicking it. But I feel like what I've been doing is like very much like, oh, what do you want to talk about? Whoever I'm having on the month. And I was thinking like once I started reading X-Men a couple of months ago, I was like, I want to talk X-Men
with somebody. I was like, please, so like for you to be getting into it, I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited.
Well, I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to update the people, I am on my second book. I'm only like a third of the way through.
Ooh,
Okay,
so what'd you think of the first one?
First one was, I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit different than I was anticipating. There was like a few panels here and there that were like, and then they defeated Cobalt Man or whatever. I was like, oh, like it was because I didn't really think that it was going to be as much of like a Spark Notes type feel as it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed it. Like, I feel like I really got an understanding of the origins and the process, like the transition to like how Wolverine ends up fitting in. And it's been fun to watch along with the movies. I just also finished the first trilogy, so I watched X-Men: Last Stand.
Okay, so
over the last couple days?
Where does the trilogy? Like, what's the event for the third trilogy? Because literally, okay, so I was thinking this as we were talking about it in Seattle, which like also. I gotta show you the pictures from Seattle, even if we don't go through all of them. But we can save that for the end. But I was thinking about it. I was like, I remember seeing like bits and pieces of the original X-Men trilogy as they were coming out, but I don't fully remember them. But the one part, and especially if you just watched it, like the one part that is like cemented into my brain is the part where Juggernaut goes, "I'm Juggernaut, bitch," and he just runs through the wall, or he breaks out of the concrete, right?
Right. Yeah. She, I forgot her name.
Shadowcat. Kitty Pryde.
Yes. Nice. Yes. She played by, I forgot this person's name, but someone who was in like crime shows or something.
She was in NCIS.
Yes. That's it. And yes, that's exactly what happened. But what was your question? What happens in the third one?
Like, what are the events? Because I can't, because like I know Dark Phoenix goes into like the dark. This is like later in the movies. Dark Phoenix goes into Dark Phoenix. Apocalypse is like the Apocalypse story, but like Last Stand, X2, and the original X-Men. I don't. Yeah. Like, are you just meeting the team?
Like, just very broad strokes. The first one is about, it's basically like X-Men creation, or actually, no, actually there. This first one starts with like Jean Grey and
Cyclops,
thank you. And Storm, they're all like teachers already at the academy. And then it's like, it's the woman who can't touch anybody, or else
Rogue.
Rogue. Thank you. She's like she kind of is like a lost teen, and it's also they like bring Wolverine in the beginning of that first movie, and so it's kind of and then it becomes like a classically X-Men versus Magneto, like introducing all the characters.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's
and
Magneto. So it's Magneto in the first. Magneto is the big. I guess the best way is like, okay, so Magneto is the big bad of the first. Who's the bad guy in the second one?
Second one, I'm gonna miss Stryker. The guy who plays the father, the Roy father in Succession. He's the big bad.
Didn't watch Succession, but I watched X2. I know Brad's. He's the mutant bigot, right?
He hates the mutants. He built Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
And then three. Three. It's also Magneto, but also sort of, I think, what is intended to be Phoenix. It's Jean Grey as her like alter ego type thing. Which I guess there's another movie that has like is Sophie Turner playing that in one of the newer movies. Plays.
I think she plays a young Jean Grey in.
Okay.
Dark Phoenix or Days Before. Days of Future Past. She might one of the. There's like
great.
What 13 movies?
If you count the two Deadpool, sorry, and Logan, there's 13. Yeah.
Which I've seen all of those. I've seen I think I've seen the list backwards. Like I've seen New Mutants. Actually, I just saw it recently, and that was really, really good. Like New Mutants.
I'm excited, yeah.
New Mutants. I've seen the 3 Wolverines. I love the Deadpools. Honestly, I think Deadpool 2 might be like my favorite, especially the Colossus and Juggernaut fight. I think that's like that is.
Those are the only two. Yeah, those are the.
I just think that's perfect. The perfect use of CGI. Like that's what I wanted a superhero fight to be.
That's funny. So I've seen the 2 Deadpools. The Deadpools were the only 2 I've seen before this month, and honestly, I'm probably gonna watch them again on my playthrough because they're so good.
Yeah.
But my only complaint so far, I thought the trilogy was really good. I think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman killed it, and Professor X killed it, and I think it was cool to like have the different generations of mutants, and they really got like kind of political with it all, which in a way that I thought was really well done. I didn't like that they erased. I guess they never really said Phoenix too clearly. Although in this end of the second movie, there was like after Jean, there's an image of a Phoenix like on the lake, so it's like very much Phoenix. They like totally erased the whole alien thing that I have been reading about in the comics.
Yeah.
Which I didn't
like with the whole Shi'ar.
Which I guess introducing all that and like all the alien stuff, like that might be a little hard, but they basically were like, oh yeah, Jean Grey was actually just born like this with this like repressible, really destructive alter ego, and I was like, oh, like I kind of wish that, like I think the whole point of because she sacrifices herself in the second movie. Sorry, have you seen these? I don't want to spoil too much.
I mean, I probably saw them a while ago, but like
okay.
I think one of the things that I've like come to appreciate about all the different iterations through the MCU, because I mean, like it was through I got into the whole Marvel of it all through the MCU, and then through the MCU I started reading the comics, and then through the comics, you know, I like I've been so intertwined with it, and it's, to me, I like think it's so interesting the different points that they take, because like in a movie you only have two and a half hours, whereas like the comics, they had like fucking 20 years and like 20 and like hundreds of books that they can like really go into it. And so I just like
totally
like I know the broad strokes of all the characters, so I'm like, I didn't know that. I guess I didn't remember that she sacrificed herself, but
I understand they totally have to cut things, make it more simple for the movie to be able to make things make sense, not take us in too many directions. But I do think that sacrifice was like so important to like the reason why she is Phoenix, and that they ended up sacrificing her, but then didn't make her Phoenix because of that. And I didn't love that, but otherwise I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting to. My hopes weren't super high, even though I know people love the movies. Like I was like, oh, this is like a 25-year-old movie. Like it can't be like, I don't know. It was really well done.
Yeah, it's like, I think they're like, oh well, the first X-Men is probably like what, 1999?
2000. I think it's 2000, 2003, 2006.
What the hell? Where did that even come from? What did I do? Oh my god, bro,
that's too funny.
I'm gonna have to turn all this shit off. I didn't even know that was a thing. What the fuck? Okay, so reading it. Okay, so so the Shi'ar, which I think is so like one of the like big I guess trepidations that I had with getting into X-Men was that it's such a deep, like the Marvel universe is so big, but like X-Men is so deep and so massive in it. And like, I guess, did you find it hard to like keep track of all the characters and all the mutants, like at getting into it?
Oh yeah. Honestly, even like in the beginning of the second Genesis book, they like straight away introduce the like second
whole new
generation of and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see who sticks it, because then one of them dies maybe right away, but then like maybe not. It's like I'm just gonna sit around and like once they're fighting a bit more, I'll be able to gather. Because I honestly didn't. I had trouble getting, even though it's only 5 people, I had trouble figuring out who was in the initial team besides Professor X for way too long. And then I finally understood, like, okay, Cyclops,
the original team. God, fuck! I was trying to count. Shit. There's Cyclops, Jean, Colossus, Storm, and Iceman, I think.
I think Colossus is second gen. I think is it the Beast?
Oh,
the
Beast.
guy who plays,
Hank McCoy.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Hank
is
McCoy, exactly.
bro. That's what my
I know.
brain
So
is
it's yeah.
full of.
There's six because the angel is actually in the first generation as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which
I
he
think,
gets
yeah.
like. I was gonna start reading, or I was gonna start watching the movies with you, but like, you gotta have that Stars add-on to the
I
Hulu.
know those paywalls, dude. Come on.
They blocked us, so I was like, I was gonna take the movies from chronological, and then I was like, okay, well, I can't even watch half of them, and then the ones I could watch, I've seen, so I was like, whatever. So I started watching the cartoon,
Yeah.
which the cartoon is like, I was doing like my homework for the show, which is like not really homework. I was just watching cartoons, but Nay was watching it with me, and she's like, "What is our?" She was asking me questions because it was so goofy, but the show is from 92 to 99. Like the show ran for a while. I think it was 92.
Wow, yeah.
Because I remember that being my like Saturday cartoons, because that was like my introduction to the X-Men, but it like was so long ago I don't remember it fully. But going back and watching it again is very much like it's. I was watching a breakdown of one of the episodes, and it had like such small time constraints on the turnarounds for those episodes, so they had to they basically like lifted one for like the breakdown I was watching was about the Dark Phoenix saga, which is 4 episodes, and they're like 22-minute episodes, so it's like almost a movie.
Yeah.
But like there was such small time constraints that they basically were just like lifting like panels straight from the comic for the show, and so because of that they're like the show is like such a good adaptation of the source material, and like watching it in 2023 is hilarious, like because it's so comic booky. Like the movies,
Really?
I think it's so funny because the movies and the TV show are like, you know, even Marvel now are like gimmicky and like comic booky, but like the cartoon was so, they would be like
whams and pows, that kind of stuff.
It was like a lot of like, oh no, they're gonna assassinate the senator, and the senator like gets abducted, and he's like, you can't do this. I'm an American senator. It's just like the silliest lines. And anytime Professor X came on the screen, Renee's like, why are his eyebrows like that? I was like, it's a cartoon from the 90s. Like, you can't think about it too much. But the show is really good. So like even if you wanted to like go and see some of the like bigger events, because like they have the whole Phoenix saga and like the Dark Phoenix event as episodes, and they're like 3-4 parts, and they're like more in depth than the movies, but like animated like a comic. I literally was like, it's like watching a comic.
Fun.
It was so cool.
Yeah. Love that.
So loving X-Men, and it's like making me get back into the comics. So who's your favorite X-Men right now?
I think Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine so well. He's so entertaining to watch. So from the movie standpoint, Hugh Jackman's got to be up there. In the second movie, I didn't like him in the comics. He doesn't have, at least not so far, doesn't have a huge role in the comics, at least what I've seen. But and he was kind of a freaky guy. But the German Nightcrawler, oh my gosh, I really liked his character in the movie. He was a little freaky, but I think he did a great job.
I thought he was so I've always like loved Nightcrawler's power. I thought he was so cool. The other like point of reference I have is like, did I take you to play the like arcade cabinet? Did we go to that arcade bar over the summer?
I don't think
No, I think I went with my cousins.
We did, no.
That is the only reason I wanted to go to this arcade bar, was like this fucking Konami cabinet, and you had like 6 characters, I think. But it was so much fun. I used to play it with my cousins, and I was like, that
So,
is where the X-Men like memory really lies.
nice.
God.
Let me throw this back at you. If you could pick one, if you could have one of their powers, who would you want? Whose powers would you want?
Hmm. Hmm.
Think about this myself.
Yeah. Hmm. Definitely not Cyclops. His like,
I don't want that power.
yeah, he's
Because
just.
like a lot of them are kind of burdens, like intentionally.
That's why I love, because I've been trying to think like why I like have always been sort of interested in X-Men, but like it was always too daunting to like actually read. And then like also I didn't read comics for the longest time, but like the like I mean like you even said like the social commentary on like of the X-Men is so heavy-handed that like to me it like was very, I mean it's very much like the outcasts of society, like whether that's like people of color or like LGBTQ people. Like later in the X-Men run, there's like, especially now, like in the X-Men run now, everybody's just fucking like, that is like one of the tenets of like their new nation. It's like, yo, we gotta be
That's so
making
funny.
more mutants.
They're
And
all having sex.
so I'm like, it's so like, there's so much, I mean, the world is so big that like it's so complex on its own. But powers wise, original team, or maybe not original team. I don't know. I keep coming back to Nightcrawler. I think like Nightcrawler had really, really cool powers.
Yeah, teleportation like that would be really, really cool.
Maybe even, I don't know. I keep going back and forth between Colossus and Nightcrawler. What the shit, bro? Oh my gosh! It's not even doing the whole thing. It's half a balloon.
Imagine you're on like a business meeting and then like why does Zoom want this? Why is this a default? I think for myself, I'm thinking 2 ways about it. Like if I were to just continue my normal life, like what I got going on right now, I would absolutely not want to be Professor X. Like I would not want that much ability to like listen in and find people. Like that sounds awful. But if I was like a superhero, like if I was going to live a life as a superhero, I think that could just be so. I mean, it clearly is so effective, and I think I could enjoy that.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's so life as is.
Because like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Nightcrawler.
I mean, flying would be great. I mean, Magneto can kind of do a lot of flying on his own because of his. So honestly, Storm would be really awesome. Be able to just control the weather for yourself, and you can also fly.
I think flying is so sick.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine is also like immortal, and like watching all of his movies. And I mean, I thought this was also. I was telling Renee because she's like, oh, I only know that Wolverine is like X-Men is my. Renee's point of reference for X-Men was Wolverine, like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which like you even said. I think it's so funny, like how the movies and the TV shows like influence the comics, which influence the comics were the source material, and then the source material for the movies, and then the movies like Hugh Jackman like blew up Wolverine's star power, so like through that in the comics he became like a different character. And I just like,
oh, interesting.
It's so, and all of it is based on toy sales. It's whoever.
Tell me more about that.
It like, so I mean that was the whole thing with the reason that Marvel sold off the X-Men to, they sold off the movie rights to X-Men and only got like so the MCU kicked off because they thought Iron Man, which like Iron Man, oh my god, like bro, I'm like this is crazy.
Tie your hands behind your back at this point.
I know, and I talk with my hands too much. But like they chose Iron Man as the first character in the MCU because they thought he would sell the most toys. And because Marvel was like not doing great financially at the time, that's the reason they sold off X-Men and they sold the Hulk. And it wasn't until like even Spider-Man, like because before the MCU, the biggest Marvel names were Wolverine, Hulk, and Spider-Man. And coming into the MCU, they didn't own the like movie rights to any of those characters.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is just so interesting. And now like where they're at, like they're just owned by Disney, running it all.
Full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead.
I mean, we have more than a couple minutes left. I would love to spend some time on the pictures also.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, Seattle, beautiful. Oh, also, wait.
Yeah.
So for next week, we gotta talk Loki.
Oh yeah. Yes. We can talk Loki next week.
Okay. So, let's see.
Should we meet up before the final episode or after the final episode? Should catch up after the finale.
Oh yeah, because episode 5's already out.
Yeah, we only have one left.
We could do either.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm it.
Okay. Anyways, let me show you some fire that is Seattle, Washington. Okay, so first, immaculate. Wait. Can you see that? Can you see it first?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
you love some sun and clouds.
You know me, I'm a slut for some clouds and some sun. All right, boom, beautiful. Then we start getting into the city. Okay. So we didn't go to Mount Rainier, but we took the ferry to Bainbridge Island, and
is that a mountain? Oh my god, that's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, these are all out of order. Shit. Okay. But so this shot right here was
wow.
This was the Sunset Park that I was telling you about that like reminded me of Providence.
Providence.
And bro, the fucking walk up this hill was a 45-degree like incline, and it was like a 35-minute walk. And me and Renee were like,
gosh,
this was too much. But I mean, getting up here was so worth it. We ate so well. This is a bunch. We got big ass prawns, oysters, a crab claw, and scallops. And it was so nice. They had like this in this little ramekin. They had like a cilantro jalapeno like vinaigrette to like dip all the stuff. It was it was crazy. This is on the way back. You know me. Love a sunset. God. All right. Now we're getting through into Seattle. The architecture.
Like the corn cobs.
I like the architecture on the West Coast. Crazy. This is my first time fully on the West Coast. So I was like, I loved it. Let's see. Pike Place was so much fun. Yeah. Don't want to skip May. So much good seafood. Do you like seafood? I
like it, yeah.
You said you don't like gravitate towards it, but like you'll eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like generally not opting for it if I'm on like a general like American type of food. I'm generally not like getting the fish dinner as if there's other options. But like if we're going to a place where we're doing seafood, especially if we're like on one of the coasts or something like that, then I'm definitely into it.
So you'll get like a really, really big ass shrimp.
I would get a really, really big ass shrimp for that price, of course.
The craziest thing about Pike's Place too. So they had it's like 5 levels. So we didn't even see all of it. I didn't realize it was so deep. Um, but oh,
Oh, some
perfect, right here.
salmon.
Overnight shipping anywhere in the U.S. Anywhere.
Whoa.
Which
Oh my
like
gosh.
all of this seafood was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
bro.
It's crazy to think that like at a place like that where they have a reputation of hold, especially the fish was like in the water earlier that day probably,
That's what I
or
was
like the day before.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, even if you wanted to do this like once a month and be like, I'm gonna make myself some really, really good fish, like you know that it's so fresh. Like that they
Yeah.
just got it. So like, oh, it was so crazy. A lot of
The
pigs.
pigs.
We saw Pike Place pigs. These are just some pretty flowers. This monkfish is
Oh, I don't like
crazy.
that guy.
Yeah, was not enjoying it.
Poor
Um,
pig.
we saw a big old pig. Oh, don't know
Oh,
why.
snow. Little pig photo shoot.
And the nips, just like on my pigs. So Pike Place
Aw.
was beautiful. We had crumpets. Let me see. I want to skip through to the little the shoreline. Beautiful. This is more Bainbridge. Yeah. Oh, there was this old dude who was sitting in the window. I was like, yeah, I'm using him for some foreground.
He's so angular. I love it.
But it was so beautiful. Like the colors being on the coast, it like really reminded me at certain times of like Rhode Island. Just like the colors of, especially Bainbridge, like walking through the small town. Ugh.
Yeah.
Look at those oranges and the browns. We drank a lot of beer. Like
Nice.
I really think like you would have enjoyed
I
Seattle.
thought I would have. I'm excited to go. I have never been, but
Let's see. Are there any? Oh God, just bro. The city was so pretty. Like, it was awesome.
I have a question for you, and I want to know if you saw this. One of my buddies used to live in Seattle. He worked for Amazon maybe, and he would say that when he would go to work, there were people handing out like free bananas on the street. Is that something you experienced, like a banana cart? That was
I
just,
did
like, free
not.
bananas?
I did not get any free bananas in Seattle.
Okay, I'm gonna do some research, and I'll come back for the next episode with a banana update.
Please, I would love a banana update because if there were free bananas and we missed them,
Oh god, maybe I
what?
won't tell you.
Pike's Place it was gorgeous. We had a bao bun, and it was like
Oh yeah.
rivaling the one that we had at Noodle Bird. And I think that's it. All right, so stop sharing.
Oh, thanks for prepping that.
Dude,
I love it.
of course. Thanks for. I like really, between the nature, the mountains, and the beer, and the food, I was like, literally the whole time, I was like, hey, is it weird that I like wish Kieran was here? I feel like he would appreciate that. She's like, no. But then I kept saying it, and I was like, I really think Kieran would dig it here. I was like, it's so pretty. The food's so good. She's like, okay, like I get it. She's like, do you want Kieran to be here, not me? I was like, no. I'm having a great time. Just I think he would really enjoy it.
Maybe we'll go back someday.
One of these days. So I don't have a question for you, but I think we'll kick off next week or next episode with what did we think of the Loki penultimate and finale.
I'm excited, dude.
I will talk to you soon. Peace, homie.
Sounds good. Peace.